Good evening, this is All India Radio Kohima. I am Nobin Pradhan with the evening news. The headlines. Centre promulgates 2 ordinances to help farmers and to boost rural economy. Nagaland government to set up police quarantine centre at Dimapur. State Cabinet holds meeting with Eastern Nagaland People's Organization, deliberates on Tuensang fiasco, and with 13 confirmed cases of COVID-19, total tally in Nagaland climbs up to 107. Now the news in detail. President Ramnath Kovind has promulgated 2 ordinances with an aim of giving a boost to rural economy and to help farmers. These 2 ordinances are the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance and the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance 2020. Recently, these 2 ordinances were approved by the Union Cabinet. It will enable barrier-free trade in agriculture produce and also empower the farmers to engage with sponsors of his choice. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar yesterday wrote to all the chief ministers informing them of the ordinances and solicited their cooperation in implementation of the reforms. Nagaland government is setting up a police quarantine centre at Dimapur. This was informed by Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton, who is also the co-chair of the recently constituted high-powered committee during an interaction with media persons after the cabinet meeting held this evening. The police quarantine centre comes in following the footstep of Assam government to arrest those violators who intentionally violate rules at the quarantine centres. With positive cases rising in the state, Patton informed that sufficient beds are available at the designated COVID-19 hospital at Tourist Lodge Dimapur, though no single patient has been admitted so far. Patton also clarified that the state-specific guidelines issued on May 4 will be followed where mass congregation of churches, malls and restaurants will remain closed. Meanwhile, Principal Secretary Home Abhijit Sinha, who was also present, informed that the state is drafting its guidelines in consonance with guidelines of other states and modifying as per the requirements of the state. The State Cabinet today held a meeting with the Eastern Naga People's Organization ENPO at the Chief Minister's office chamber at the Secretariat. The meeting, which lasted for 2 hours, was attended by all cabinet ministers, including the ENLU members. The meeting was held following the Tuensang fiasco, where one of the positive cases quarantined in Kohima was sent to Tuensang along with others on 26th of last month. Interacting with the media persons after the meeting, ENPO President Kekongching Yumchungar informed that the ENPO has consented to the request of the government to wait for the report of the Judicial Inquiry Committee. Kekongching informed that after the incident, the ENPO submitted a representation on May 28, giving a deadline of 3 days for disciplinary action against the erring officials. He, however, said instead of taking action, the government has constituted a Judicial Inquiry Committee to submit the report in 15 days' time, to which ENPO was not satisfied. In this, they have written to the governor for his intervention in this matter, stated the ENPO president. He said that the ENPO agreed to the state government's request following the assurance that action will be taken against the erring officials based on the committee's report. Reiterating its stand on the issue, the ENPO president maintained that there is no tribalism or politics involved in this issue. The ENPO president also cautioned that it will take further course of action if the report is found to be unsatisfactory in any manner. The government has constituted a task force to examine issues related to age of motherhood, lowering maternal mortality rate and improvement of nutritional levels. The task force will be headed by Jaya Jaitley and it will submit its report by the 31st of next month. The task force was set up by the Women and Child Development Ministry, will suggest suitable legislations and amendments in the existing laws and also chalk out a detailed rollout plan with timelines to implement these recommendations. It will examine the issues related to infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, total fertility rate, sex ratio at birth, child sex ratio and any other issues pertaining to health and nutrition. It will also suggest measures for promoting higher education among women. Commissioner of Police Dimapur Rotihu Tetso in an order said that there are complaints that some private and government registered vehicles are plying in Dimapur town with unauthorized press and media stickers to bypass and evade the current lockdown restrictions. He therefore informed that any individual other than officials or staff of DIPR and members of the media or press fraternity, if detected without unauthorized documents, will be booked as per the relevant sections of the law. You are listening to the news from All India Radio, Kohima. Nagaland's tally of confirmed COVID-19 cases crossed the 100 mark today, with 13 persons testing positive for the virus infection in the last 12 days. The total positive cases stands at 107. Minister for Health and Family Welfare S. Pangniphoom said that out of the 252 samples of Chennai returnees, 13 tested positive. Meanwhile, Pangni also informed that the first batch of TruNat machines for testing of COVID-19 samples have arrived. It has been installed at District Hospital Dimapur, while the rest of the districts would follow up. In Tripura, 48 more persons tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. With this, the total number of positive cases in the state rose to 695 with 518 active cases. 173 corona patients have been discharged from hospital after recovery so far. In Mizoram, 2 more people have tested positive in the last 24 hours for COVID-19, taking the total number of positive cases to 23. Meanwhile, in Assam, the total number of COVID-19 cases rose to 2,324 after 81 fresh cases were reported from the state this afternoon. The central government today said that the COVID-19 recovery rate is 48.20% in the country and the total number of recovered people from coronavirus reached to 1,14,073. During the last 24 hours, 4,611 people were cured of the infection. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said 9,887 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 2,36,657 in the country. It was the highest spike in new cases in one day since the outbreak of corona pandemic in India. During the last 24 hours, 294 deaths were registered, taking the nationwide toll to 6,642. The case fatality rate is 2.80% in the country. A special bus sponsored by Nagaland government carrying 34 stranded persons of Nagaland, including an infant, departed from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh this evening and is expected to reach Dimapur on the 8th of this month. Earlier, another special bus brought 41 stranded persons of the state from Himachal Pradesh, which departed with 7 persons who were stranded in Nagaland. Government has started the dispersal of amount of 500 rupees in the accounts of women beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana for the month of June. This is the third installment under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. Department of Financial Services said beneficiaries can withdraw the amount on any day after the 10th of this month. It said the amount will be sent to the beneficiary's account from 5th to 9th of this month based on the last digit of the account number. Under this package, 10,029 crore rupees were credited to over 20 crore Jan Dhan account holders as first installment. In the second installment, 10,315 crore rupees were credited to 20.62 crore Jan Dhan Yojana account holders. As part of the 1,70,000 crore rupees Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the government is providing free food grains and cash assistance to people to fight with the coronavirus crisis. And to end the news, a reminder of the headlines. Centre promulgates 2 ordinances to help farmers and to boost the rural economy. Nagaland government to set up police quarantine centre at Dimapur. State cabinet holds meeting with Eastern Nagaland People's Organization, deliberates on Tuensang fiasco, and with 13 confirmed cases of COVID-19, total tally in Nagaland climbs up to 107. And with that, we end this evening's news. Have a good night.